Hi guys, today is the 13th of June 2019 at 24 minutes past 12 in the afternoon over here in the UK, and there has been an attack on two tankers in the Strait of Hormuz near to Iran. At the moment, we don't know who is responsible or if there even was an attack. It wasn't self-sabotage, but obviously all fingers are pointing at Iran, and that's just the way it's going to continue to go until war with Iran begins. So I'm just going to read a bit of this report. The alleged attack on two oil tankers in the Gulf of Oman occurred just 40 miles off the coast of a secretive Iranian naval base where submarine-launched anti-ship missiles were tested in February. The JAX base was established in 2008. According to reports, it is initially under the control of the Iranian Navy, while the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps run other bases in the Persian Gulf. The base gave Iran an easy way to threaten the Strait of Hormuz and potentially cut off a fifth of the world's oil supply. It appears that the IRGC set down roots in Jask as well after it was expanded. Initially, the port is a center for the Islamic Republic of Iran's Navy's 2nd Naval District headquarters. In 2010, the base was the center of the annual Veliat 89 drill, which was held off the coast of Jask and was coordinated from the base. However, in 2015, the Daily Beast revealed that the base is also central to Iran's drone program and has Ghadir midget submarines. Iran also tested anti-ship missiles near here in 2013. It has historically tested missiles in this area dating back to the 1900s. In a more threatening drill last fall, Iran fired a Fateh 110 ballistic missile from an IRGC base in Jask, according to a statement by US officials. And in February, the Bailat 97 exercises took place off the coast of Jask, with most of the Iranian Navy parading next to the Jask base. Iran showed footage then of a Ghadir-class submarine using a JAS-2 anti-ship missile. Other weapons that Iran has include the Tarak submarine's electronic torpedo and the Ghadir submarine's Valfiaja, torpedo. These were tested also in February alongside Qadir cruise missiles. Iran also has a Fateh-class submarine with another missile called Nazir. It also has a destroyer of the Sahan class. It is a bit confusing because the Fateh 110 or 110 missile, Iran has been increasingly experimenting and improving these weapons in the last several years. So that's, I said I was going to read a bit of the report. It's quite short, so the full report. But basically, that was just an outline of Iran's assets in the area to make it a little bit more believable or easier to blame Iran for attacking these tankers. And obviously, there was the previous attack on the oil tankers in association with Saudi Arabia. Iran did send help for the sailors that were caught in this attack, so it's going to be a little bit harder to blame Iran for the attack if they're the ones rushing to help. Obviously, you can see that from the other side in terms of if they rush to help, then, they can't be blamed, which will cover their back. See it from both sides. Obviously, I do believe Iran has submarines that will be used in future conflict. That has been interpreted from the IPEC Go 2 video. It may be that these torpedoes, if they are torpedoes that are being launched at these oil carriers, are practice runs for launching at something like the USS Abraham Lincoln or something like that. If the US was to, blockade Iran and stop it from selling its oil to places like Syria, then obviously war can go ahead with Iran coming out with their speedboats with missiles on them. Again, another interpretation from the IPEC Go 2 video. And obviously, any midget submarines or big submarines that they might have could then be used to launch attacks on those ships. After the attack in the Strait of Hormuz, oil prices have surged, obviously because it is the route where a fifth, I think, of the world's oil supply, yeah, there it says, a fifth of the global oil supply goes through that channel. So any conflict in that region will mean oil is either really slowly coming out of that channel or not at all, which obviously will affect the stock market. So the price is jumping. I think the key number in terms of oil is to watch if oil spikes over $100 per barrel. Then you're kind of in a territory that you don't want to be in and would be hard to come back from. Finally, if blaming Iran for these attacks on these tankers in the Strait of Hormuz wasn't enough, Saudi Arabia is warning Iran over Yemeni rebel airport attack. Riyadh accuses its arch foe Tehran on Thursday of ordering a Yemeni rebel missile strike, which wounded 26 people at a Saudi airport and warned of grave consequences. So obviously they're um, thinking about planning some sort of action in association with this attack on the airport. Obviously, we have no idea if Iran was involved, if they did order Yemeni rebels to attack the airport, if it even was Yemeni rebels and not, state sponsored. So, there's a lot of information that we don't have, and we just have to kind of fill in the pieces as best we can, which can be dangerous, but, you know, sometimes it's necessary. The continuation of the Iranian regime's aggression and reckless escalation, whether directly or through its militias, will result in grave consequences. Yemen's Houthi rebels hit the civilian airport in the popular mountain resort of Abha in the southwest of the kingdom on Wednesday, damaging the arrivals hall and forcing its closure for several hours. So keep an eye on what's going on there. Obviously, if Saudi Arabia is being honest and direct and not blowing smoke, then we may see some form of retaliation. Obviously, Saudi Arabia wouldn't be stupid enough to go and attack Iran directly, but there's obviously Iranian forces in Syria, in Iran, and other regions throughout the Middle East where retaliation could take place. With all that said, you guys, I'm going back to reading reports and keeping an eye out for things that are coming up. Have a good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and may the Heavenly Father bless you.